The Department of Water and Sanitation has warned people living in low-lying areas around the Vaal River to evacuate due to rising water levels. This is as a fifth sluice gate was opened on Sunday morning, the 6th of April, to manage the levels that had increased overnight due to ongoing rainfall in the Vaal River catchment. Despite this, some residents have ignored the warning to evacuate as they say that the water levels are still relatively safe. Sowetan's Koena, Mashale and Antonio Muchave visited the area and they give more perspective.
Residents in the Vaal Triangle, specifically in the Paris area, have been warned by the Department of Water and Sanitation to evacuate. This follows them opening the fifth sluice yesterday as the dam was overflowing with a rainfall. The river behind me is the Vaal River, which is said to be overflowing, and a security guard that we had spoken to stated that they would be closing that bridge right there behind me at 4 p.m. this afternoon to avoid people crossing the bridge, as the water levels are increasingly rising. However, the residents in the area are saying that they are yet to even think about evacuating, as the water levels right now are quite normal to them, and they will only be able to evacuate once the water even starts coming outside. This has happened before in previous years, where the residents along this river said that their houses were flooded, but not to a point where it was increasingly dangerous. However, they said that they will be keeping an eye out for the water levels, but right now still remain in their homes.
Security guard of Goldfish Estate, which is nearby, Sandile Maluke, said they would be closing the nearby bridge if the water levels kept rising. Sowetan also visited the Schoemansdrift Bridge in northern Free State over the Vaal River to monitor the situation.
We are at the Schoemansdrift Bridge in Free State over the Vaal River, and behind me, as you can see, the water is gushing heavily down the stream. This is after the Department of Water and Sanitation released a statement yesterday stating that they had opened a fifth sluice due to the overflooding of the Vaal Dam. This is due to the ongoing weather in the area that has been increasingly flooding the dam, which resulted in them having to open the sluice. They said that at this point they might open another one. Residences, before we came here, we visited a small residential bridge in Paris where residents have been warned to evacuate due to the overflooding rivers like this one behind me. And those residents are saying that they have nowhere to go besides where they currently live. And at this point, they will be staying there until the situation gets even worse.
Some of the residents have decided that they will evacuate. One of these is 60-year-old Jenny Gomez, who stays downstream of the Vaal River, and she fears that history could repeat itself like in 2023. With her house situated on the bank of the river in Pretoria's Kraal, Free State, she said she was evacuating the property as she didn't have much of a choice. Jenny said that her house was about 1.5 meters underwater in 2023. Koes Beineveld, who stays about 3 kilometers upstream from Gomez, said the area was flooded and water was starting to get into his house. He said about 80% of the people who stayed around had already been evacuated. He said, and I quote, "I am busy evacuating. Cleaning will only start after the water returns to normal. There is no real damage to the property yet, and most people evacuated before the water reached their place." Share your thoughts with us on this, Sowetans.